pot I have hemp oil, olive oil, and castor oil. And coming out of the microwave right now, because I needed to just melt those solids, is some coconut oil, some mango seed butter, and some shea butter. And I'm just trying to melt those last few pieces of mango butter before adding it to the pot. So I'm working at room temperature. That's why I didn't heat up all my oils and just melted my solids. And of course, I'm still not 100% ready. The Lord's here. And then to mix all of this, I'm going to be using a stick blender, and I'm going to plug that in right now. So now I'm just taking my solids that aren't solid anymore, and I'm just adding that to my main pot of oils. And I'm just going to buzz that up a little bit. Loud. Then next I just add in my powdered play, and I mix that in thoroughly before I start to mix my latte. Together, I am going to slowly add in my lye. I'm going to do so fairly safely. I'm going to pour this down my stick blender as so that it won't splash back up at me. I'm not mixing while I'm pouring this. And that is probably the most dangerous part. And now I'm just going to mix up. And I'm just going to mix this up into emulsification, which means just to the point where it's in line. Fragrance just yet. I'm paranoid, so I disconnect the heaviest part of my stick blender when I'm walking away from this. I'm gonna grab my colorants and get ready to go. So for this, really hope I put it in here. I am gonna be using, if I put it in here, it looks like I completely did not, so I'm grabbing it from the wrong place that I shouldn't be grabbing it from. For the base color, I am going to be using cocoa powder. And then if I can find it, if I can't find this, I'm going to have to make something else work. I'm going to have to change this design a little bit. And then I'm going to be using some titanium dioxide to lighten bits of it. I'm just pulling out. And I'm just adding it to the bowls. The instrument. Okay. And also off to the side, I have some extra espresso grounds. And that is it. That's going to be it. So now that this is emulsified together and mixed, I'm going to start separating it. So I'm going to be separating this by how I want the color to be. But I'm going to separate the part that I want to be lighter. I'm going to separate that out first. I can't add the fragrance oil to that section of the soap because this fragrance oil will darken it and will completely defeat the purpose. So I'm going to add the fragrance oil now to the remainder of the soap. I'm going to just quickly mix it in. I'm going to use one of these pitchers and I'm just going to mix. I'm just going to pour in this. I'm not going to color at all. I'm going to leave it its natural tone. But what I am going to do to that is I'm going to add extra coffee grounds and then mix that. So now that is all ready for me. This one I'm going to mix in the cocoa powder. May not need as much as I pour it out. That I want to be lighter, I have to mix together that colorant with a little bit of oil. I'm just going to use a little bit of olive oil and drop it. And then I'm just going to mix that together. Just dissolving the colorant in oil prior to mixing it into the soap. Side. Don't actually need that anymore. Now I'm going to start pouring it into my molds. So I'm going to start with the darker color. I'm just going to pour a bit in the base and make a mess as per my usual. And I'm I'm blocking it on the camera. Okay, so I have the darker color in first. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour in the uncolored section. And I'm pouring this in a way as to swirl it into the base. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with our lighter color. And I'm going to pour that from a bit higher up. Okay. Now I'm going to go back with our darker shade. And I'm just going to pour all that in at this point. As much as possible. Go in with one of my scraping spatulas, and I'm just going to pour that in. We're going to go ahead and make sure I get as much of this into these molds as possible. The other two colors I don't mind being on the top, but I do only want this darker color on the bottom portion. So I'm just putting it in and smoothing it out. The one closest to me is a little bit shallower than the one further from me. So I'm just trying to even them out a bit. Okay. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to pour the uncolored batter into this. Just gonna pour it on top really quickly, and then I'm gonna take a spoon and I'm just going to swirl that in just on that top layer though, on both. Okay. Now I am going to proceed to start filling these up. So I'm going to use the whiter one. Just going to pour that on top. And I'm just going to shake them to make sure all air bubbles are out and to level it out a bit. And start spooning this on top. And it smells like a coffee shop in here. Getting ready for the final design on this. I will walk these up to the camera after I am done pouring them so that you're able to see them a little closer up. before I put them on the shelf to set. Okay, there's another scraper I have here. And I'm just gonna scrape that right on top. Okay, now just the corners on this one need a little bit more. Smooth that out. Smooth that out a bit. So again, I'm just going to tap these once again to kind of level them out. Make sure there's no air bubbles hiding. And then I'm going to actually grab a paper towel. Okay. Because I prefer to use this one, but I don't want the dark color on top, so I'm going to start spooning on what's left of my white. Once again, like I said, this is actually unscented, the white portion. I actually want it a little bit thicker, so I might have to sit here and wait for this to thicken up a bit. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for this to thicken up a little bit, I will go over to my screens and read any questions that anybody might have while I'm waiting for this to thicken up. So I'm gonna go visit Instagram on my right first, and then, you know what? I actually can do both at the same time. I'm lying to you. I'm gonna go visit the camera and see where we're at. So I know I'm upside down. I'm on my tablet, and for some reason, even though the camera's at the top, when I went to Instagram, it flipped it around. But if I was to flip the tablet around, you wouldn't be able to see anything because the camera would literally just be like on the ground. But thanks for joining. Okay. Hi, Linda, if you're still there. If you guys have any questions, I am willing to answer those. I'm just waiting for my lighter color to just thicken up a little bit because it's a little bit too thin for what I want to do with this design. So I'm just waiting for that. But I'm here to answer questions. But Melissa, if you're willing to, it looks a lot better on Facebook. It looks so much better on Facebook. If you join me on Facebook, I have a better camera setup for Facebook because I didn't realize I couldn't do both on one phone. So, yeah. And once again, I'm making a coffee-based soap. This soap has a ground espresso in it, and it's scented in cafe latte from Crafter's Choice. My entire kitchen right now smells like a coffee shop. It smells so good in here. I'm not sure what I want to name this, so anybody who joined us live, you're able to name this soap. Just leave your suggestions in the comments. Whoever wins, I'll go ahead and actually send them a bar of this. How's that? And I think I'm gonna do this every Sunday. So if you suggest a name and I go with your name, I'll contact you about sending you a bar of whatever, a bar or whatever I like, some of whatever I made during the live session. So good luck, everybody. I'll let people continue to comment names on this until the soap gets cut. This soap is gonna most likely not get cut until tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Not sure what my schedule's looking like, but soap needs to set up for 12 to 24 hours before it can be cut. Yeah, so this most likely won't get cut until tomorrow evening. I'm trying to see if I have any more. If there's any like questions, concerns, anything you'd like to know. Just sitting here waiting for this to set up a little bit better. In the instrument, I'm just gonna take my dirty dishes so far and take them off the counter. Go ahead and place those in the sink so they can start to be ready to be washed. I do want to give this disclaimer. I'm not wearing the safest of clothing for this activity right now. I recommend anybody who wants to make soap to wear a long sleeve shirt. Yes, definitely. That's what I was, yeah, this is definitely much better than Instagram. I have it set up, I have my phone set up on my ring light to give light and have it like stable, and then like my tablet is kind of like just thrown up on my counter. So yeah. And I'm just trying to wait for this to like thicken up a little bit. But I also didn't add any fragrance oil to the lighter portion of this soap. And because I didn't add any fragrance oil to the lighter portion of this soap, it's gonna take a lot longer to set up. Not sure if I want to wait for it actually at this point. I may not want to wait for it. So. And while you were transitioning, I was saying this is a coffee-based soap. I don't know what I want to name it. So if you wanted to suggest a name for this soap, you have the next 24 hours. Whoever suggests a name for the soap that I go with, I will contact them about sending them a bar of the soap. So, good luck on that suggestion. I actually have one of those spoons and I put them both in the sink. I just need one of these to help with the design that I want for the top of this soap. I may be changing the way I want to design the top of this soap simply because I am impatient and I don't want to wait for this to set up. But I am slowly trying to build it up the way I kind of want it. Even though it's not stable enough to hold it. It's still very, very runny. So. You never know. When it comes to like naming stuff, I freaking suck. So, you never know. You never know. I freaking suck at naming stuff. If I could pay somebody to name every single one of my products, I'd be all over it. I freaking suck at it. so bad. And actually, I'll be right back. I want to check if I have something. If I do. Okay, and I am right back. Sorry about that. So I should, even though this isn't going to look exactly like I want it because it's not solid enough, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the design. I'm going to try turning it this way so that you might be able to see it in this kind of. So yeah. So I'm trying to like get this so that you can see it a little bit better. I think that's pretty good. So I'm just using like a regular spoon. Don't worry, I don't eat off these spoons. Oh, these are just for my soaping. And I'm just going to, the part with the fragrance is already kind of setting up. But like I said, the white doesn't have any fragrance in it, so it's taking a little bit longer. So I'm just creating a texture in the top of the soap towards the lighter color. And pop that there. And now I'm just going to swirl over the divide. And I don't know if it's coming through. I'm going to go back, swirl again. Maybe it'll come through a little bit better. And of course it's not, because it hates me. It's fine, because I have one more step that I want to do for that. So that's what the tops of those are looking like so far. And once again, I do not recommend this at all, but I want to sprinkle something on top of this soap. It smells so good. It smells like cafe latte. It smells like a coffee shop. It honestly does. It smells just like a coffee shop in here. And I'm just sprinkling some of those extra coffee grounds right on top. Which is proving a little difficult because I have a fan above me. But that is going to be the soap. The leftover batter that I have over here, what I typically do anytime I have leftover batter, I can grab one right here, is I take a little cupcake mold, and I usually keep a few of those lying around the kitchen. These are all, and once again, I only use these for soap, and I'm just going to pour that in. And these just make little cute mini bars. I have a few more right over here. And these are only used for soaps and bath bombs. Basically, it's only used for things bath and body. Just put it in. These little extra ones will probably be for me. Or samples on orders. So, okay, there's a tiny, tiny bit more. So the soap's all done. I'm going to place them on, once again, don't recommend doing that. But I'm going to just place them on my shelving unit behind me. And like I said, I'm going to walk these up to the camera so you can see better. So that is what our soap is looking like right now.